This is our project for Odin's Onslaught. My name is Craig, I'm working with Cormac, Ian and Paul. So initially, of course, we didn't know we were going to be making Odin's Onslaught. This is where we are at the moment. It's scheduled what we've achieved so far. First step, of course, idea generation, and begin working on the white box for the side-scrolling shooter that we knew we were making. Then came SMART goals, continuing work on the white box, scope document for our two ideas we came up with, concept art, the stakeholder matrix, determining who was important, both internally and externally to the project. Came risk assessments, and then beginning the proper graphics creation, and then of course today's pitch. So came up with two scope documents. Initially we were thinking of a sci-fi genre game, very similar to R-Type, but we decided we'd rather do a game based in the Viking kind of fantasy, oldie worldy setting, because we have a Viking in our team. So with the scope documents done, moved on to generating the SMART goals. Got to make a 2D side scroller for the Christmas deadline, design all the art, game logic, that sort of thing, and of course to create the best 2D side scrolling Vikings game the world has ever seen. That's it. Next game is stakeholder matrix. So the internal stakeholders, we've got the team, including management, the tutors in college, and the hypothetical shareholders in our company. For the internal, the team and the management are most important at this stage. We've got the power to make the decisions. We're as close as we can be to the project. But overall, the tutors in the college are incredibly important as well. We have to make sure that the game is suitable to be published by a college. The external stakeholders, got our customers, obviously very important. You have to make a game they enjoy. The kind of hypothetical suppliers and distributors. Rival games companies, important if they come up with a similar product. And gaming websites, obviously. Most customers will react to reviews, so we want our game to be getting good reviews from gaming websites. That's a summary of who's most important. Risk assessment identified an awful lot of potential risks, ranging from, can we actually make the game? Do we know how to do the coding? Can we make decent graphics? Can we make good sounds? Can we meet the deadline? And once you've identified all these risks, you're able to come up with ways to resolve the risks, overcome them. So, difficulty coding the game, well, we've got two excellent consultants nearby who hopefully will be happy to help. If the graphics aren't too good, we can again work to improve them. What else is the key risk? Data loss, identified as one of the key risks. USBs have a habit of going walkies, going missing, also prone to damage. So all the data has been backed up on the servers at college, and also on the cloud storage system, Google Drive. And going forwards, the schedule is here. So we have today's pitch, and we're working this week on coding and graphics, which will continue for a good few weeks, the graphics, sound and coding. And then we're hoping for a couple of weeks of testing, which will obviously also include fixing any bugs that are found at that stage. And then we'll be ready for launch on the 15th of December. Thanks.
Hulk, and I'll be going over games I document and gameplay briefly. Its title is Odin's Onslaught, which I thought was a really good title by Paul there, with a bit of alliteration. It's going to be on the published for the web for Unity. Target age will be 12 plus. That's purely because the content of the game makes it a PEGI 12 game. So, just a brief description of how the game plays. Play a character, you play as a Viking ship. You're looking to make land and pillage and all that. You eventually come upon a castle, you destroy a castle in the game. So basically, player ship, you can throw spears to defeat enemies and invade obstacles and stuff going up the river. Pretty standard. Selling points, that'll be like our tagline for the back of the box. So, fight the current, sacks and boats, mythical beasts, and opposing castles as you try to make land. Features the devastating power-up Thor's hammer, which destroys all your enemies as it fills the screen with lightning. And comps would be Gradius and Ore-type. There wouldn't be comps in the normal sense, but mainly in gameplay. Kind of would be the same. So, description of gameplay there. You play as a little Viking boat going up the river. You're trying to make land while you're fighting enemies along the way. Culminates in a boss battle against the castle. Viking ship, for the movement, it won't be that similar to Gradius and Ore-type. It'll be similar in that you're moving across the screen, but you'll be able to rotate your ship. We still haven't decided, do we want the ship to point whatever direction your key is pressing, or do we want to be able to have independent rotation on top of that? So, the ship will have a health system. The ship will display damage on it as cracks on the ship. It'll have a base number of lives, probably about 3, and there'll be additional lives available for pickups. You'll be able to power up your weapon, so you'll be able to throw multiple spears at a time. You might add more, but that's playing at the moment. You'll be able to pick up special item, as mentioned before, Thor's hammer, which will just basically destroy everything on the screen, cover it with lightning. Your enemies will basically be Saxon boats, dragon or two, and castle boss for the end. The Saxon boats will travel down the river towards you and fire spears at you. We're hoping to have them be able to actually target you instead of just firing spears in general direction. They'll also have a health system, but they won't have much help with the player. They don't make it too difficult. The dragon will be interesting to code. We want to fly across the screen and then spew a stream of fire that leaves the water on fire and blocks your path. How easy that will be to do is something we have to ask Noel about. But castle boss, it'll be a large castle with a few defensive towers in front of it. The player will have to destroy all the towers first before they can start damaging the castle. The castle will have a good lot of weapons. We'll have spears, arrows, probably catapults, and Watcha rocket launcher, which I didn't know about until Paul told me about it. Basically, an old ancient Chinese rocket launcher and just a bunch of fireworks, the little fireworks, and just basically it looks actually quite like a rocket launcher these days, like a rocket ball. Our camera, we don't want it to be going across constantly. We want it to actually move and stop with the player, kind of similar to old Mario games. So basically, we just want the ship to be able to go around on screen wherever it wants and then progress forward at your own rate. And broadly speaking, the gameplay will be similar to Ore-type and Gradius. It'll be slower and probably a bit more tactical. And then that's just a mock-up of what it could potentially look like. Still got a lot of work to do, but we'll get there.
Right, I'm Ian. I'm talk about the audio of the game. First of all, there's a list of effects that we're going to need, such as ore splashing, shouts of the people in the boats, the player boat and the enemy boat. Collisions when you get shot or you hit the rocks or an enemy, the dragon's attack. When you collect the power up or when you use the power up. Screams, people that you're killing and burning. Laughter, disheartening exclamations, the noise of the boss shooting the arrows at you, and the environment of the sea, the wind, creaking wood and stuff like that. The soundtrack. So some of the music we'll be downloading from freeware sites and mixing ourselves. I'm going to compose some other music, some guitar riffs and drums and stuff like that. Mix them together. It's all going to be in a Viking metal theme. Some examples of that. For the intro screen at the beginning, we want something kind of like this, kind of subdued. What's an
You can skip it there.
Okay.
Subdued.
Yeah. Alright, this is the fun.
So you can mute it.
That kind of vibe. It's kind of Norse folk music. And then for the start of the game, when you're going down the river, more kind of epic Viking metal style, which is like this. Expect some marks for that. And then when you're fighting the boss, it's going to be more kind of, it's time to bust heads in, so it's the death metal variant of Viking metal. It's the worst speakers I've ever heard. So, yeah, okay. Well, transition between the styles. If it can't do it naturally, we'll make some drones to fill the gaps. Different tracks for victory and failure, obviously. No. And then a bit about the creation process. So, like I said, yeah, we download some freeware samples, like the rest, and then using Reaper, which is a digital audio workstation, we'll mix and arrange everything. And then when it comes to the sound effects, they need to be exaggerated, because if you want like the sound of a smash, you can't just have a single smash. It'll sound weak and puny. You need to add some more percussive elements to it. You do it with all the effects. Of course, you need to EQ and reverb everything, and various other effects. The music has to be loopable for like the title screen or credits. Drones, like I said. The effects have to be balanced correctly so that they're not too loud for the soundtrack, or that they're loud enough. And hopefully we'll, with all the music we make, cover all the moods that we need for all of the various stages of the game. Especially with the last part, the more heavier part, gets some head banging way playing the game. And that's it.
I'm Paul, and I'll be handling the art design for the game. Well, most of the art design. The first mood board here is supposed to illustrate the work that we went into to highlight sort of what sort of monsters we wanted in the game to be one of our enemies. Settling on like looking at octopus, kraken, how they could do damage, like force damage. We have lightning dragons or fire dragon. In the end, we settled on a fire dragon as it would be easiest to model, and it would be pretty cool to have in the game to be able to light the sea on fire rather than just electrify it. Also looking at the background, sort of like mountains and plains and all that, and doing sort of research into the textures you'd find on dragon, like the scales, the skin, the trails that fire would leave when it's being put down, stuff like that. Then looking at the ships in more detail, sort of the texture of the wood you find on it, the sort of bigger heads you find on the front of a Viking ship, the sail colours, the textures of like engravings in the woods, if it was like a ceremonial engraved on it, or if it was just a normal ship. Looking at more sort of along the lines of water, what it looks like in different areas, in sandy cove area, really blue sea, in sort of a darker blue for cold, and sort of mix it all together for when making the game. And of course, how rough the sea would look toward the ship, and with like dark tones that you could put into it changing areas and meshing it together when changing areas. I'm looking at the boss, which I am handling for the game. For the boss, I wanted to sort of look at castle designs, castle textures, different styles, sort of tower styles. But I also wanted to link it together with the boss being bigger than the player, making the player feel small compared to the boss. That it's more of a conquest to take down the castle at the end when you actually beat it. And it's like the boss is going to be imposing to the player, and it's something that you must take down. With, of course, the epic music in the background. The textures, especially looking at more medieval castles, looking to see if it's like strong wall castles and stuff like that. Some concept art, the ship in its first concept, some wood textures, ship put together by Ian and sketched, scanned in, and touched up in Photoshop. Some early renditions and concept art for the grassy plains, and then it touched up and fixed a bit, make it look a bit more cartoony with sort of drawing elements of realism from it, adding more texture to the water, adding, of course, the texture to the dragon made by Craig, and its scales, its size compared to the player, keeping it with the detail of it, the sort of cartoon realism. And a quick mock-up for the concept art for the boss fight, where the player is going to be fighting against the towers, the player has to fight against them. We wanted to sort of make it so that the boss fight feels enclosed from the rest of the game, that it's surrounded by mountains, that this is the last thing that you're going to see in the game, so you want to put your all into it to beat the boss. And of course, keeping the boss in style with the rest of it was going to be difficult. Sort of wanted to make it look good, especially from the top-down angle, adding in the different turrets, different period-correct elements you could put into it, textures for the grass, the water, sand, and of course texture for the mountains, making the castle look authentic. Of course, that's just a concept art basic for it, so it doesn't look that good compared to what the real thing will look like, hopefully. That's all I got.
So much for that, officer. Thanks.